Ladies and gentlemen, discipline is the foundation of success. Many people think motivation is the key to achieving great things, but motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you're inspired, ready to take on the world, and the next you feel sluggish, unmotivated, and stuck. If you rely solely on motivation to get things done, you'll always struggle to make progress. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the ability to take action regardless of how you feel. It is the difference between those who dream of success and those who achieve it. Think about the most successful people in any field: business, sports, art, or science. Do you think they feel motivated every single day? Of course not. They wake up tired, they have bad days, and they go through struggles just like everyone else. The difference is they don't wait to feel like working, they work anyway. They have built the habit of discipline so deeply into their lives that taking action is automatic. They don't give themselves the option to slack off. Let's break this down further. Imagine two people starting the same journey. One relies on motivation and the other builds discipline. The first person wakes up one morning full of enthusiasm, ready to work. They put in effort for a few days, maybe even a few weeks. But then something happens. Maybe they get tired. Maybe they don't see quick results. Maybe life gets busy and they start making excuses. I'll start again next week, or I don't feel like it today. Slowly their progress stalls and eventually they give up altogether. Now the second person understands that motivation is unreliable. They know that if they only work when they feel like it, they'll never reach their goals. So they create a plan and commit to it no matter what. Whether they're in the mood or not, they show up. If they're tired, they push through. If they don't feel like doing it, they do it anyway. Over time, their actions compound. Their progress may be slow at first, but because they are consistent, they keep moving forward. Eventually, they reach their goal not because they were always motivated, but because they were disciplined. This principle applies to everything in life. Want to get in shape? You can't just work out when you feel like it. You have to stick to your routine even on days when you'd rather stay in bed. Want to build a successful business? You can't just work hard when you're excited. You have to keep going even when things get tough. Want to master a skill? You can't just practice when it's fun. You have to put in the hours even when it feels frustrating. Discipline is not about feeling like working. It's about making work a non-negotiable part of your life. It's about creating routines and sticking to them. It's about setting clear goals and holding yourself accountable. And the best part, discipline gets easier with time. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. What once felt difficult becomes automatic. One of the biggest myths about discipline is that it requires superhuman willpower. But the truth is, willpower is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it, but it also gets tired if you overuse it. That's why the best way to build discipline is not to rely on sheer willpower alone, but to create systems that make discipline easier. For example, if you want to work out every morning, don't leave it up to a decision you make when you wake up. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Set an alarm. Remove obstacles that might make it easy to skip. The fewer decisions you have to make, the more likely you are to follow through. If you want to write every day, don't wait until you feel inspired. Set a specific time to write, create a dedicated space for it, and stick to it no matter what. Another powerful way to build discipline is through accountability. When you have no one to answer to, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. But when you make a commitment to someone else, whether it's a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even a public commitment, you create extra pressure to follow through. This is why people hire personal trainers, join mastermind groups, or publicly announce their goals. Knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator to stay disciplined. Of course, discipline is not always easy. There will be days when you struggle. There will be times when your mind tells you to quit. That's why you need to remind yourself why you started. When you have a strong enough reason, when your goals truly matter to you, you'll find the strength to keep going. That's why having a clear vision is so important. If you don't know why you're working hard, it's easy to lose motivation. But if you have a strong purpose, you can push through any obstacle. One of the best ways to maintain discipline is to track your progress. When you see tangible results from your effort, it reinforces your commitment. This is why athletes track their workouts, entrepreneurs track their sales, and writers track their word counts. Progress, no matter how small, fuels discipline. Even if you don't see immediate results, trust that your efforts are adding up. Every workout, every hour of study, every small step you take is building momentum. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned and improved. The key is to start small. If you try to overhaul your entire life overnight, you'll likely burn out. But if you focus on building one habit at a time, discipline becomes easier. Start with something simple, waking up at the same time every day, reading for 10 minutes, exercising for 15 minutes. Once you master one habit and another, over time these small habits add up to massive results. Another important aspect of discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. Most people avoid hard work because it's uncomfortable. They choose the easy path because it feels better in the moment, but discomfort is where growth happens. If you want to become disciplined, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. When you feel resistance, instead of running from it, lean into it. The more you do things that are hard, the easier they become. At the end of the day, discipline is about taking control of your life. It's about refusing to let laziness, distractions, or excuses dictate your future. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Because here's the truth, the life you want is on the other side of hard work. The question is, are you willing to push yourself to get there? Success demands a price, and that price is always paid up front. There are no shortcuts, no easy routes, and no way around the hard work required. Many people dream of success, but very few are willing to pay the full cost before they see any rewards. This is why so many start strong but never finish, because they expect results before putting in the necessary effort. But life doesn't work that way. You can't harvest a field before planting the seeds, and you can't reap success before doing the work. In every area of life, the price of success is paid in advance. Consider an athlete preparing for a competition. They don't just show up on the day of the event and expect to win. They train for months, sometimes years, pushing their bodies beyond their limits, sacrificing comfort, enduring pain, and making disciplined choices day after day. They pay the price long before they ever see a medal around their neck. The same principle applies to business, relationships, health, and personal development. If you want results, you have to put in the work first. The problem is that most people want immediate gratification. They want success now, but they aren't willing to wait for it. They want to get fit without consistently working out. They want financial freedom without years of smart financial decisions. They want to master a skill without spending thousands of hours practicing. But success doesn't operate on credit. It doesn't give you rewards up front. It demands investment before it gives anything in return. This is why patience is one of the most powerful traits of successful people. They understand that they must work hard now, even if the results don't come right away. They trust the process. They put in the effort day after day, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because they know that the price must be paid in full before success starts to show up. Think about someone who decides to start a business. In the beginning, they pour time, money, and energy into something that might not yield profits immediately. They work late nights, face setbacks, and sometimes question whether it's all worth it. But if they stay consistent, if they keep improving, if they refuse to quit, the business eventually grows. The hard work they put in months or years ago finally pays off, but only because they were willing to pay the price first. The same goes for personal growth. If you want to be knowledgeable, you have to read and learn before you reap the benefits of wisdom. If you want to be strong, you have to lift the weights before you see the muscles. If you want to be great at anything, you have to put in the hours before anyone recognizes your talent. It's an unavoidable law of success. First you pay, then you receive. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving up too soon. They start something with enthusiasm, but when they don't see immediate results, they quit. This is like planting seeds and then digging them up every few days to check if they've sprouted. Growth takes time. Success takes time. Just because you don't see progress right away doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Everything you do today is building towards something greater, but you have to give it time. Many people look at successful individuals and envy their achievements. They see the wealth, the accolades, the recognition, but they don't see the years of struggle behind it. They don't see the sacrifices, the failures, the late nights, and the moments of doubt. They only see the reward, not the price that was paid to get there. This is why success often looks overnight to those who weren't paying attention. But there is no overnight success. There is only consistent effort, discipline, and perseverance paid in full long before the rewards come. Delayed gratification is one of the greatest skills you can develop. It's the ability to work hard now for a reward that comes later. It's the ability to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term gain. It's the discipline to say, I will keep pushing, even when I don't see results yet. Because you understand that everything worthwhile takes time. Let's take fitness as an example. You don't go to gym once and expect to be in peak shape the next day. You have to show up, train consistently, eat right, and push through soreness and fatigue. You might not see major changes in the first few weeks, but over time your body adapts and transformation happens. The same applies to any goal. If you keep putting in the work, eventually you'll start seeing the results. But you must be willing to push through the period where nothing seems to be happening. Many people get discouraged when they don't see instant success. They compare themselves to others who are further ahead and wonder why they aren't progressing as fast. But comparison is a distraction. Everyone has a different journey and everyone's price is different. What matters is that you keep paying your own price, doing your own work, and trusting that your time will come. Success is never about luck. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about showing up, putting in the effort, and staying committed even when it's hard. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who are willing to work when others give up. Think of a tree growing in a forest. It doesn't sprout into a mighty oak overnight. It starts as a tiny seed, buried in darkness, struggling to break through the soil. For a long time, it seems like nothing is happening, but underground roots are forming. Strength is being built, and then one day it breaks through. What was once invisible suddenly becomes visible. But the growth was happening the entire time, it just wasn't obvious yet. That's how success works. There will be moments when you feel like your efforts are pointless, when it seems like nothing is changing, when it feels like you're stuck. But this is the test. Will you keep pushing even when the reward isn't immediate? Or will you give up and let your efforts go to waste? The ones who push through are the ones who make it. The ones who quit, they never get to see what was waiting for them on the other side. The reality is that the price of success isn't just paid in time and effort, it's paid in persistence. It's paid in refusing to give up when things get hard. It's paid in staying committed even when no one else believes in you. Those who understand this, those who are willing to keep pushing forward, are the ones who achieve great things. If you want something, be willing to work for it. Be willing to put in the effort before you see the reward. Be willing to show up every day, even when it feels pointless. Because one day when success finally arrives, you'll look back and realize that every struggle, every sacrifice, and every moment of discipline was worth it. The price must be paid, but the reward will always be worth it.